Hello everybody and welcome back to another Exploring the Kiwi Farms. Today we're going to be looking at someone I actually know a little bit about. Critical on YouTube. Used to watch his cooking videos, so I have unknowingly had a little bit of exposure to him. But this is KingCobraJFS, Josh Sanders. He is a lolcow, amateur musician, YouTube streamer, wand maker, and self-proclaimed Sexy Goth Bad Boy, perpetually circling the drain. So let's get right on into it. So there was a major edit on the 3rd of October of 2021. OP has given a massive update and makeover to provide better information to newcomers. So thank you very much, OP, which is Broseph Stalin on the Kiwi Farms. So let's go. Special thanks to Elise Warrior for constantly archiving the live streams and to @Games for providing me with some much valuable information and resources regarding Josh. So here's the man himself, Joshua Faye Saunders, however you want to say it. I'm going to say both, I'm sure. But here's our first little introduction to him.
God damn it! Broke my fucking cigarette. Fuck!
Well, I don't feel like watching the rest of that at full volume.
Fucking social media doesn't give a shit! It's the fucking truth, dude. Social media doesn't give a shit. They're just like, oh hey, you know. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fucking touching me, you piece of shit. Fuck you!
Alright, that's about all we're going to watch of that, and that gave me a little nice idea of what we're about to get into here. So, let's get to reading. Introduction. Josh Sanders, better known as KingCobraJFS and also simply called Cobes, is self-proclaimed is a self-proclaimed sexy goth bad boy of many talents. YouTuber, streamer, guitarist, singer, songwriter, and wand maker, including Dark Wizard and Harbinger of the Cobra Apocalypse. Ooh, he's like a Christian with the dimensional merge, I hope. Once confined to obscurity, he started a slow ascent to mild internet fame as an amateur musician and YouTuber, and a descent into madness and alcoholism. What caused him to be this way? What's up with him? Well, this, my dudes, is what is up. Early life. Much of Josh's life is murky, but what is known is that he was born on March 26, 1991 to Clint and Laura Saunders in Casper, Wyoming. Shortly after birth, Clint and Laura went through a rough divorce and custody battle. Josh was born with respiratory distress syndrome, underdeveloped lungs, and was placed in an incubator. Clint always maintained that Laura was psychotic. I lost my spot. Laura was psychotic and abusive, with some trolls believing that she may have had a drug problem or drank liquor while Josh was still in the womb. In 92-93, Josh relocated to Miles City, Montana with his parents, where both shared custody. Details of his life in Montana are murky and largely unknown, aside from Clint owning and running a gymnastics club in both Miles City and Glendive, Montana. Among other places Josh lived were Valley City, North Dakota, and South Lake Tahoe, California. Clint remarried in 1996 and was awarded sole custody of Josh. Wow, why am I just missing my place today? Eventually, Josh moved back to Casper, Wyoming, and graduated from Natrona County High School. Among his siblings are two sisters who, according to Clint, are straight A students, members of honor societies, active in their communities in organizing volunteer work and raising awareness for humane societies, and according to home dad Clint, have no interest in tobacco, drugs, or alcohol. In spite of all this, Clint is still very proud of Josh, but knew from the time Josh was born that there was something wrong with him. In a screen cap from a post by Buffalo Chicken Sandwich, Clint goes into detail about Josh's mental state in his younger days. He was very difficult. By the time he was 5, we started taking him to counselors to try to get him the help he needed. From the age of 5 to 18, he saw counselors and was on medications and was able to function fairly well. When he was young, I went back to college and studied psychology in hopes to be able to help him more. I worked with kids in the mental health field for years to gain knowledge and skills to try to help him. I have quit good jobs in exchange for lesser paying jobs just so I can be at home more to be there for him. Wow, that's what a father should do. Clint goes on to describe Josh as having been tormented, teased, and harassed every second of every day of Josh's life. This is a stark contrast to Josh's behavior in high school being described as creepy, and even admitting on stream on 3/7/21 that he had sexually assaulted girls at school and excusing it with, "They were totally into me." They were not. He was on his school's wrestling team long enough to receive a Letterman jacket before declaring the sport was gay. After discovering the band Cradle of Filth, he began to identify as goth. The very day he turned 18, Josh took up smoking despite his NRDS, and at 21, Josh took up drinking. Both of these vices would become a staple of his character for years to come. After high school, Josh had a brief stint in the local job corps in early to mid 2012 before it ended with him being kicked out after being caught smoking pot during this time. During this time, he also met his now ex-girlfriend Stephanie. Interesting guy so far. This is a long one, so I'm buckled up and ready to go. We'll probably have at least one smoke break, probably two, throughout this one. So, let's get into it. Goth King Cobra documentary by Trapped. There's a debate as to when Josh entered the public eye of the internet. Though he had something of a following pre-2014 with drama involving Stephanie and other shenanigans, it wasn't until the documentary Gothic King Cobra was uploaded to YouTube on 2/23/2014 that interest in Josh began to grow. The video documents a day in Josh's life and also some details of Josh's past, such as his time on the wrestling team and also the fact that he had a fat bush of pubes back in high school. He also reveals he keeps his shit trimmed down there. In the documentary, we're also introduced to a cavalcade of citizens in Casper, Wyoming, who never really make an appearance in Josh's life later, but do seem to be acquainted with him. Of note is Jared Brown, a homeless former Marine who possibly ingrained within Cobra's psyche the catchphrase, "That's what's up," and even doles out some pretty good advice to Cobra. Nut up or get fucked up. That's what's up today. A nice quote from the man himself. The documentary has become a harrowing window into Cobra's past self, showcasing a young man who had dreams and aspirations, even if a little awkward. Now what remains is a broken man devoid of any ambition who seeks comfort in alcohol, tobacco, fast food, and marijuana. So do we, marijuana specifically. In fact, just take... I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess I just can't read today. In fact, take just about any post-breakup video and you will be seeing a shocking contrast to Josh's life then and now. See the video section below for the full documentary. So before we get into the sagas, let's take a quick smoke break together. And yeah, I just cleaned my dab rig actually, so hopefully this will be a nice smooth hit. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm on a week break from work, so I'm hoping to get some good content out in that time. And I've been loving seeing all the interaction on my channel on the creator side of things. It's really cool. So thank you everybody who's been watching and anybody who's subscribed also. I know it's small and I don't expect to be big. I just want to do this for fun. I have a lot of fun making these videos, so that's what it's all about. Just hanging out, smoking, having a good time. So everybody, let's smoke up together. It's important. Good for the soul, good for the mind. Cheers. Alright, I hope everybody had a good smoke. I'm not gonna lie, you were on pause there for quite a bit. I took that dab way too hot. But let's get into the sagas. Like any lolcow, Josh has a multitude of past sagas, many of which can be found here, or at least everything from 2011 until October of 2020. Further information can be found on the Cobrapedia. The most recent and ongoing saga is the Eviction Saga, which started in 2014, but reached a head in 2020 when Josh was told he caused $6,000 worth of damage and caused the apartment above him to be unrentable due to his constant indoor smoking and spray painting wands for his wand business. Him also inviting... What is a wand business? They couldn't have been that good. Him also inviting various bums and addicts to stay with him, as well as getting swatted, may have contributed to this as well. After being evicted, he was able to move into a new apartment, and so far hasn't learned from his past mistakes. If the appearance of his apartment is anything to go by, for more information on the Eviction Saga, check out the Cobrapedia here. Like I said in previous videos, we are exploring the Kiwi Farms. That is our main focus, so if you guys want to check it out, you can go to the link, you can go to the Kiwi Farms and find King Cobra, and you can click these links and investigate further. We're just going to continue on. Josh's physical health has been up for debate. A comparison of his past appearances shows that he has started to go downhill over the years. His hair has started to thin greatly and his skin has grown noticeably paler. He is haunting here. He just looks like a unruly man here. He is haunting here. That's someone you should not go near. Despite all of the fast food, booze, cigarettes, he surprisingly has not gained too much noticeable weight, somehow remaining relatively skinny fat. However, we don't know much about Josh's internal health. He has been shown to fall asleep on screen, let out hacking coughs, and admits to needing alcohol by his bedside for when he wakes up. Since records of Josh's doctor's visits are non-existent, since this man definitely does not go to the doctor, and he hasn't said much about his health, that remains a point of speculation among many trolls. Josh's psychology, unhinged. Much like this physical health, Josh's mental health has taken a nosedive for the worse. While he does have Asperger's, there is obviously something else going on with him. He harbors delusions of grandeur and an overinflated ego. While he may have had a chance in the past to truly make something of himself, his recent antics have shown that he believes himself to be a handsome goth bad boy with magical abilities and sick guitar skills without a need to improve upon his craft. Never mind the fact that he plays guitar like absolute shit. He'd also rather throw away shit he doesn't understand rather than try to master it or understand how it works. How Josh sees himself. That's horrible still. Though he hasn't officially been diagnosed with the following disorders, many trolls and observers of the Cobraverse have theorized that Josh exhibits symptoms of disorders such as severely stunted emotional and social development, attributed to his Asperger's, but even this seems to be far worse than the average Aspie. Addictive personality disorder, poor impulse control, low IQ, and oppositional defiant disorder. Fellow Kiwi lesbian sleepover provided a very interesting step-by-step on the way Josh handles danger and conflicts in his life, as shown below. What Snussburn said, and the fact that now he's M-Lord on the radar of the complex neighbors. There's way more attention on his Cobra Zone, and he doesn't like that. Josh is very unaware of his immediate surroundings due to his disabilities. Theory of mind, volume, vision, all affected by genetics and further reduced via habits, spice, root beer floats, and poots. Josh thinks about the danger for a moment, then moves on. There are 5 stages to this. The confrontation. This is where Josh has been given the what for by a wow. This is where Josh has been given the what for by a reasonable, competent adult authority figure. Example: termed lease, dad debit card, cranky neighbors. The clarity. This is where Josh explains how he understands why what he did is not necessarily wrong, but how it may be perceived as such. Example: painting wands, overdrafts. Justification. This is a typically drunk rant on how he is doing his best, and that if that's so wrong, you face stream tubes, that he doesn't want to be right. What if? This is not always present in the cycle, but if it's typical where he exaggerates what happened during stage 1 and how he very toughly, badassly would have handled it. Blow off. This comes in a couple forms. Typically either him that in the next day mentioning repeating shit due to autism and being nonchalant about it. I didn't fuck up, they spelled shit wrong about it. Almost dismissive, and or someone in a comment, text, live chat brings up what should be a fresh, important subject on a typical person's mind, and he kind of shrugs it off, calmly repeating some talking points from stage 3. Ooh, I am feeling this hit. Grab a drink in a second. Throughout all of this, Josh at no point accepts blame for his actions. Not once has he admitted to being fully in the wrong. It has always been that he was only partly wrong, and when he does accept blame, he only gives an insincere apology and moves on to the next thing. Josh on women and sex. Ooh, there's a nice little kiss going on. So he did have a woman. Surprisingly, Josh has gotten laid in the past. That is surprising. And has had at least 2 relationships in his life, though one only lasted roughly a day. But in recent days, he has started to flip-flop on women, walking a fine line between incel to nice guy, though he seems to tend more toward nice guy tendencies. Josh, believing he's the sexy goth bad boy he claims to be, thinks women are waiting to crawl all over him and gouge out the eyes of every other hussy bitch that tries to lay their hands upon his mighty mega meat cock before they can. But since he never seems to leave the Cobra Zone and venture out into the streets of Casper, we won't know the extent of his romantic escapades, with most information coming directly from Josh himself or trolls close to him. In the past, Josh was in a relationship with a woman named Stephanie, whom he had met at Job Corps. For a time, things were good. Stephanie was close to moving into Josh's apartment, until Josh and his friend Chris got drunk at a gas station and somehow ended up tag-teaming a pregnant woman at the woman's suggestion. Stephanie then cheated on Josh through the act of anal sex with a mutual friend. I'm looking at you, homeboy Scotty. Josh's response? He makes a half-joke threat to rape Stephanie. Stephanie then moved her shit out of the apartment while Josh was at work. Only the 4th of July, they break up. On the 4th of July, they break up. In 2015, Josh got a new girlfriend named Amy, and after only one day, they broke up. A short time later, Amy wound up in jail, and Josh expressed great pleasure at this revelation. Eventually, Josh began to grow frustrated at his inability to find a woman, until the day came when a fan sent him a $1,000 sex doll. That's a come up, Josh. Josh, Queen Cobra, and Sean. According to Josh, it's not the exactly sex doll he wanted, worded wrong, but took it all in stride. A pussy is a pussy, am I right? Not even 24 hours later, Josh posted on Facebook that a thief broke into his apartment and stole his sex doll, and only his sex doll. Not his guitar, what little valuables he has, or even his TV, but just his sex doll.
Josh later claimed that Casper police found his sex doll in the back of a meth monkey's car, who allegedly trying to get a scrap metal out of it, thus destroying it in the process. Josh admitted later that he destroyed the sex doll because he got angry after ripping its pussy during a ferocious fuck session. He blamed the doll's poor quality and poor shipping. Josh has since been unsuccessful with women. Wow, they're considering that a success, I see. Often wanting that black-haired, tatted-up, big-titted goth girl with green eyes that so many lust after. Rather than improving himself or settling for less, he even just to get some experience talking to girls, Josh goes for women completely out of his league and wonder why they won't go out with him. The kind of woman Josh wants but cannot have. There she is, folks. Oh, God. Feeling it. Josh and music. Josh has boasted about being a sick guitarist and even published some of his own music. However, of the albums were taken down due to copyright. Rather than believing his potential is untapped, Josh is seemingly self-taught and believes he does not need any improvement. According to reality, however, I will not play this as much as I want to. I'll probably listen to it myself, but I don't want to risk copyright. Josh and religion. What's an edgy goth bad boy with a hatred of religion? Without a hatred of religion? I'm so dumb. Josh has declared his hatred of organized religion time and time again. Even though he approves of the Church of Satan, which is an organized religion, created his own organized religion structure called Cobraton, openly admitted to and enjoyed the idea of being called a cult leader, and advocated for the innocence of Charles Manson, a cult leader. However, Josh does believe in the idea of magic, believing he can control the weather and manipulate traffic lights. What a cool guy. Sure he is. Guy's a blast at parties. Josh has had a rather spotty job record. His first job was at a local Wendy's where he was a rather lackluster employee. Wow, big fucking surprise. Where his antics included unclogging a toilet with nothing but a cup in his bare hands and mixing up his sweet and unsweetened teas multiple times. Josh was cut down to a single 2 to 4 hour shift a week. His employment lasted from fall of 2012 to August of 25th of 2016, when a troll named Castellus Zemi, also known as the Fat Fuck from Kentucky by the Cobra community, called Wendy's corporate office and filed complaints about Josh's videos. During his hiatus between jobs, he started doing odd jobs around town at the discretion of his friend, Scrapper Steve. Given Steve's appearance, one can only shudder at the thought of what these odd jobs entailed. There's Scrapper Steve. Buffalo Bill. Alright, finally on May 7th, 2017, a whole ass 8 months from being fired from Wendy's, Josh finally found a job as a humble dishwasher at the Office Bar and Grill. But in September 2018, Josh put in his 2-week notice, citing that the lack of hours and what he felt like, and that he felt he was making more money from his wand business and doing a lot better. Of course, fans and trolls speculate that one of the reasons Josh quit was due to his disputes with his head chef. Josh didn't tell his father that he had quit his job and only found out months later when he stopped by to visit Josh. Now, Josh is seemingly unemployed, with his only source of income being Social Security allowance and his wand business, which he crafts homemade wands to sell on Etsy. However, his Etsy account was taken down in September of 2021 after a dispute with a customer, in which Josh was unable to provide a refund of $270. Without Etsy, the Bulglum grifter is without a stable source of income as of his writing. As of this writing. Not his writing. They meant their writing. As evidence being... Josh and finances. Let's take a gamble. They're not good. As evidenced by being unable to provide a $270 Etsy refund mentioned above, Josh is absolutely... How are you a grown man and you can't just, come together with $270? $270. Josh is absolutely terrible when it comes to finances. Every time he comes into the possession of the Clint bucks from dad or donations from fans, it does not last long, with almost all of it literally going down the shitter since he spends it on fast food. When he was with Stephanie, he would spend his $400 Wendy's paychecks on Golden Corral. He now spends his money, which is he now spends what little money he has on booze, tobacco, weed, possibly spice, and fast food for his infamous food reviews and mashups. How bad exactly is Josh with money? He spent $1,000 in 5 days, and no, it wasn't on anything meaningful. KingCobraJFS, how to waste $1,000 in 5 days. How Josh spends so much money on fast food can be chalked up to the ridiculous orders he makes. Little Caesars is not relatively cheap. Little Caesars is the absolute cheapest pizza joint, which offers like $10 for a large pizza. It's $10 for a large pizza with 3 toppings, or $5 for a simple pepperoni pizza. Yeah, $5 pizzas. But Josh somehow managed to spend $70 on a custom-made pizza. It remains a mystery how he's able to pull this off, but it can be inferred that A, he orders multiple items alongside his custom-made monstrosity that's already putting pressure on the kitchen staff, B, uses some kind of app like DoorDash to have it delivered, which is known for having ridiculous delivery fees, and C, doesn't realize how the coupons work. With the wand business being placed on hold, Josh will need to rely on more begging and Clint bucks if he is to survive the winter. He could also just buy groceries and cook for himself, but Josh ain't cooking. He has cooked for himself. I've seen these. Josh does not cook anything. Josh has cooked for himself in the past and posted videos of the process, but he seems to have relied more on fast food reviews for his sustenance as of late. Most of his meals do not look very presentable and are often either burnt or of questionable edibility. Below are some of his infamous cooking videos, including one where he starts fucking a grease fire. He's not fucking the grease fire. He started a fucking grease fire. So that's impressive. I'm loving it. Do not fucking eat anything while watching these. I'm assuming these are the cooking videos. Yeah, you should go watch these. These are hilarious. They're genuinely one of the. I wouldn't say one of the funniest things I've ever seen, but they're up there. They're entertaining, man. Below are some of the persons of note in the Cobraverse, but not all of them. This list will be updated over time when possible for new updates. Clint Saunders, aka Home Dad Clint. This is amazing. The father of Josh, Clint was born September 5th, 1969 in Casper, Wyoming to his parents Al and Sandy. He went to Natrona County High, the same alma mater as Josh, and graduated in 1987. He was always fond of personal fitness and was even on the wrestling team, much like how Josh was. Unlike Clint, however, Josh was never too interested in physical fitness. Clint got with Josh's birth mother sometime after that, and he had him in 1990. They were together for a while, but things didn't work out. So he moved around and eventually left to live in Minnesota around 1995. He went to a school at Moorhead, where he met Tanis, Josh's current stepmother. He received a Bachelor's of Science in Graphic Communications. After that, the details are hazy. They moved around to California and South Lake Tahoe while Josh was growing up, more notably North Dakota. Josh went to high school there for 3 years. Clint went to the Academy of Art University in San Francisco around 2011, where he earned a Master's of Fine Arts in photography. Eventually, they moved back to Caper. I think that meant Casper. He currently owns his own photography business, and he has also been an assistant professor, head of the photography department at Dakota College. Clint is also Josh's first and foremost lifeline when shit goes sideways, but at the same time also has to deal with Josh's bullshit, such as when Josh was being evicted from his previous residence in 2020. Clint has also been the subject of speculation for prophesized Clintervention, where he steps up to yank his son from the clutches of addiction. The truth is there have been multiple Clinterventions where Clint intervened, slapped some duct tape on the situation, and then called it a day. From the way it seems, Clint has been doomed by the gods to deal with his son's bullshit and serve as the favored servant of the Dark Lord Cobra. Damn, what a sad life. Just stuck, taking care of fucking a man-child. Homeboy Scotty. Josh's best friend and closest homeboy. Josh and Scotty met sometime in the 2010s, and from that day remained friends. Many fans and trolls believe Scotty is an absolute mooch and bum that uses Josh for weed, cigarettes, and money, and some more nefarious accusations. Scotty has 2 children with his ex-girlfriend Tina, but in 2018 she ran off and developed a drug habit, leaving Scotty and her mother Angelina with shared custody of the kids. As of late, Scotty has been relatively unseen in the Cobraverse, with a lot of rumors suggesting that he has had a stint in prison. However, a post on the KingCobraJFS subreddit stated that this may be due to Scotty's drug habits and Josh not wanting to keep Scotty around in case another swatting. Another post suggested that Scotty doesn't like Warlord, and Warlord may be inclined to call out Scotty on his bullshit when it happens again. Alex Warlord Campbell. Grade A edgelord and another one of Josh's close homeboys. Warlord was arrested multiple times, such as an arrest in May of 2018 where he was arrested for domestic battery, possibly involved with his then pregnant wife. That cough couldn't wait to come out. Much like Scotty, Warlord is a mooch, a liar, and often pretty spurgy, being obsessed with the tabletop game Warhammer 40k and its deep lore. Warlord models his life after the philosophy from the quote spoken by the Space Wolves in Grey Knight's chapter of the Space Marines. Warlord was the one who got Josh the job as a dishwasher at the office bar and grill. It also often tries to impart sage wisdom to Josh with his stolen and bastardized quotes, but to no avail. Also of note, the fact that Warlord has exchanged naked pictures of himself to men who talk with him on Facebook, though most of these men are trolls. Warlord has had 2 spouses in the past, both of which he is no longer with. He has 3, possibly 4 children from these relationships. Warlord has always wanted children, though mostly because he wanted to have his own Space Marines chapter, basically. He likely finds comfort in the idea of having a large familial structure. Sadly, this would not happen, as his marriage did not last long. At least he got a few kids out of it. After his most recent wife Valerie confessed to him in August of 2018 that she cheated on him with another man and got an STD, Warlord broke down and allegedly got admitted to a mental hospital. Mrs. Green, the praying mantis. Is literally a praying mantis. For a short time in September of 2021, Josh has had a pet praying mantis that he affectionately called Mrs. Green. It seemed that for the first time Josh had a pet of his own that he would show trolls just how responsible he was. Just not even a week passed before Mrs. Green died due to vape smoke with a high nicotine content and being fed beer and soda. Even though she was initially left to decompose in a bush outside, Josh brought the corpse back to his apartment and made her part of a staff he intended to sell on Etsy for a whopping $666, but remains unsold since his Etsy was taken down. If this is anything to go by, it's safe to say that any pet Josh owns has the potential to being gassed to death, fashioned into a work of art, and then being sold for booze and smokes. To pay tribute and respect to Mrs. Green, I immortalized her onto the staff. Oh God, it's chilling. So we got favorite phrases. Let's hear them. The following are words and phrases that Josh has become very fond of saying in his videos, the most famous ones being, "That's what's up," and that's most definitely what's up. What's good, YouTube? Well, anyways, YouTube, this is KingCobraJFS with another video. I'll catch you cool cobras later on the flip side. Trust and believe. I guarantee you. My trusty controller. That's what's up. That's most definitely what's up. Thing of it is, you two. Yeah, buddy. Excuse me. After sneezing, coughing, or deliberately farting and belching. My Asperger's is talking shit again after passing gas. You have no idea. You don't even know. It is what it is. Here's the thing, Slick. No skin off my shoes. Fuck your sky god, wubba-lubba-dub-dub. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Cobra Relics, work in progress, 10/3/2021. The Boglin hats. Hey, why is he fucking still wearing it? It looks like a Scarecrow's hat now. Prospector hat. What does it say on this one? Prospector hat. Josh is almost always seen wearing his seemingly favorite hat, a black cowboy hat that has seen a lot of wear and tear throughout the years. And despite now looking like something that not even a hedge wizard would wear, Josh continues to rock it in public. Some speculate that he sleeps in it, but after his recent tantrum where he broke his cigarette, its survival has been called into question. And there's some links. You can check out Cobra himself. You can check out his YouTube, whatever else he does. But I had a good time reading this. This one was pretty funny. I hope you all enjoy it. And yeah, if you have any suggestions of some lol cows, horror cows, whatever cows you want to see, put them in the comments and I will read them. Well, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.